Hi, welcome in, and welcome back to Cardinal Rose Tarot. Thank you for being here. Thank you for checking out my channel and my readings. And thank you for liking and subscribing if you've come here and find that you like my work, because I really appreciate the way that that helps my channel grow, right? I'd like for this channel to keep growing, so thank you for that. My name is Cynthia. I've been reading tarot since I was 15, and I'm also a licensed clinical social worker, so I like kind of the unique insights that gives me into my readings at times. It's no secret that there are a lot of Jungian archetypes in tarot. Jung was very interested in the esoteric and inspired by esoteric explorations of life and the psyche and what it means to be here and be having a human lived experience, right? So it's not therapists that have a unique understanding of that with tarot. It's most tarot readers also know that and have at least heard of Jung, right? And the archetypes to some extent. But lately I've been feeling motivated to speak a little bit more from the social work perspective, because I've been following this shit show in the true crime community on YouTube that's been really alarming to me personally, because of the way that it's been impacting surviving family members of crime victims mainly. Also because the situation is an example of people with a lot of social capital and power, meaning Lauren Matthias and John Matthias, the couple that run that channel. They're white and wealthy. They have 4 attorneys that they are carrying out this, or had been carrying out this desire to get someone who was being critical of them arrested and charged with stalking, because she had a TikTok channel where she didn't even name names or name them or anything. She was just sharing her personal feelings about them and about her way that she was personally harmed, she felt, by their conduct. And it's like spiraled into this example of the most extreme type of white fragility. It's embarrassing. It's cringe as fuck and very embarrassing. And there's these little flying monkeys around them that are upholding their version of fragility, and that they've been wronged and stalked somehow by this woman. And this woman is white. It's not like there's a racial component to it, but it doesn't matter, because whiteness is about privilege and about the entitlement to say, I'm afraid, therefore arrest that man, right? Like, that's a very white behavior. And I just have to say it, and I'm white. I say that as a white person who has committed to doing and trying to liberate my own mind from whiteness and from racism and colonization, things that are illusions. Race is a social construct. It's an illusion. It was made up by white colonizing people to categorize and separate people and keep us fighting against one another and justifying acts like slavery and whatnot. So there's this life coach in orbit of Hidden True Crimes channel, and her name is Megan Connor, and she's just driving me crazy with the way that she's trying to like uphold the narrative that they were stalked by this woman and attack her credibility, uphold the lie, the white fragility lie, and also be a life coach that then charges thousands of dollars for people to get her help understanding narcissism. And it's just fuckery to the 20th fucking degree. I find it really, really just unethical. I guess I'll just say that. It's very unethical. There was this soundbite that Howard Stern used to play. I can't remember. It was somebody that was in his world, and he would play it at opportune times during his radio show, and it was this guy saying, I find you highly disgusting. That's what I feel like saying to all of those people. It's like, wake up. You don't see that you have such a huge blind spot to your privilege that I don't even have the words for it. So I'm gonna stop talking about it, because my channel is not about that and not about true crime. It is about social justice though, And those behaviors are antithetical to justice for all of us that have the freedom to be critical, that have the freedom to critique somebody in power like that. Like, no, they're not governing powers, but they have a lot of power of the complexion for protection. They have their white power position in society. They have the power of wealth. They have the power of the LDS church, right? It's just really sickening the way that they're comporting themselves. I find it really, and I'm not a saint, okay? I come on here and cuss, and I'm sure many times people may be surprised to learn that I'm a therapist because of the way I allow myself to just be who I am outside of my therapist identity on this channel. I act and maybe say things at times that don't seem very therapist-like, but that's because I'm more than just a therapist. I'm a person that has opinions about other people's shitty conduct. I'm a social worker. I am trained to look at social behavior critically. I'm trained to challenge unjust power structures. That's part of social work. So that's my style and my way of doing it, is to talk shit sometimes. So, you know, that's what I'm doing, I guess. So let's get into a reading, because maybe this is going to be a theme for the reading as well. I don't know. What's a general message that wants to come out for the collective? Thank you again for being here and for liking and subscribing to my work. And I hope you'll check out my lives. I've been trying to come up with a live reading schedule for this channel, but it's been a little challenging because I've had some connectivity issues. But most of those have been straightened out at this point. So I don't know. Thinking about when might be good days for that, to do live readings. What do we need to know in this collective? What's important for us to know as we head into the fall, holiday season, dark months, hibernation energy? We're going into a Mercury retrograde here. What do we need to know? So maybe some choices. We're going to be faced with crossroads choices about where we're going in our material lives. That might be. Oh boy. Okay, if there were a soundtrack to this layout, it would be Hallelujah, 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 Hallelujah. It's very much the sun coming out after a horrible storm. Okay, you've been really, really going through something brutal. The very cornerstone is that you have come through. If you don't feel like you're there yet, you're about to be. So just hang on, because this is a super positive reading for you. And you need it. You need good news. I can feel it. And it's all over this first card, which is the Ten of Swords. The time of betrayal and being forced into total surrender is over. It's coming to an end. It's been very, very difficult. You're a person who's very heart-based. This is divine feminine energy with this Queen of Cups and the upright. You're somebody that's on a heart's journey in your life. You're on your heart's path. You might be a water sign. We're in Scorpio season, right? So you could be a Scorpio, or this could have messages for you about this time of year, that this era of suffering and surrender and betrayal and whatnot is over now that Scorpio season is upon us, and we're in a full moon in Taurus. And so this is major confirmation of that this is about to be cycled totally out of your reality with this Scorpio season, with the water elements in your chart. You know, anything like that that's been painful is being cleansed out. This is a really powerful full moon for you. You may have felt like you had someone highly manipulative in your life. And with that opening that I just did about the white fragility and using manipulation and weaponizing white fragility, like being a Karen cop collar type energy, that's like this. You may feel like you have gotten out from under somebody that had a lot of control over your mind somehow, or over your psyche. That happens with abusive people or narcissistic people in your life, or somebody that has managed to get a power position over you somehow and then is making you suffer, right? And a power abuser or a narcissist of some type. This is a person that's very skilled. A magician in the reverse is very skilled at that and could easily be considered someone with narcissistic tendencies, right? That manipulates the power of their mind to control other people who may be more trusting and open-hearted, right? What's interesting in the facts position is the Page of Swords. So you have learned a lot. This has been a learning experience for you, and you may feel very kind of beat up by the journey of learning that you've been on. I'm going to clarify this this Page of Swords, because that's why I'm confused. That's why it's confusing, because it's not the page, it's the Five of Swords. So in the facts position is the Five of Swords. So you've been at odds and in conflict over this toxic relationship, over this highly manipulative person. You felt very under their control or under their spell. The word coercive control comes to mind. And again, what I'm picking up on is that they may have been using this kind of phrasing and terminology against you, so that they seemed like the one in the know, like a master manipulator, okay? So Lauren Matthias, Megan Connor, John Matthias have been using the term stalker and the term coercive control over and over and over and over, like broken records, like Donald Trump does, where he uses phrases that he just repeats over and over, because there's actually evidence that that is effective at changing people's minds and changing people's opinions. So referring to this other content creator whose name is Christina, they stopped calling her by her name and they only referred to her as stalker. And they even said as much in their live streams. I'm not going to call her by name. I'm going to refer to her as my stalker. In one live stream, they did it over 1,000 times, I think, or in the high hundreds. That is messed up, okay? These are people that are presenting themselves as ethical, concerned for victims' families, crime victims, wanting to teach you how to heal from abuse, and that's what they're doing. That's the conduct that they are engaging in real time, live. It's very upsetting if you're somebody who cares about power abuse. All you have to do is go back and watch from the beginning and look at all of the evidence, including body cam footage from police, from whatever, from other people's witness testimony. It's very egregious. It just is what it is. So I'm lost in the weeds. I don't mean to get off on that, but that's what this is. It's you recognizing or having successfully come out from under somebody that was mind fucking with you to that degree, okay? Ooh, yeah, makes me very angry. I've been in my field for a long time, and I've seen other people do this in the mental health field. It's highly upsetting because it's so exploitive. I had a client at one time who had a mental health professional engage in an extramarital affair with her. The professional was married. He engaged in an affair with his mental health client. He was her case manager. He wasn't her therapist. He was her case manager. But he did this, then would do things like when she started to feel like this isn't good for me, I want more, I don't want to be a third party, I don't want to be the other woman, I don't want to be doing an affair, that's against my values. He would start saying things like, wow, you really have trust issues, you've really been messed up by all the ways that you've been harmed in the past, you can't see the truth of a good man that wants to love you when he's right in front of you. He would fuck with her head like that, okay? That's what I feel like these people are doing, is gaslighting the community and the public by insisting and just saying over and over, Lauren was stalked, so that everybody believes it. It's very disturbing, okay? Very disturbing. Where things are headed for you is a completely radical change out of this. With this full moon in Taurus, which is very physical, very earth-based, Your entire reality is turning over. You are worried that this is not going to happen. You feel like, when is my circumstance going to change? You feel desperate for your fate to change. You've been attacked or felt controlled or manipulated to such a deep degree that it's been this total backstabbing surrender energy again. At the very heart of this is the King of Wands and healing. So I sense that this is you at the very heart, or a counterpart to you if you're this Queen energy. And gender doesn't matter. It's the energy. You're in very creative, empowered, assertive energy, or you're about to be. Or this person's about to show up for you and want to be a part of your healing in some way. This is a very creative, empowered masculine that is seeing clearly, that is very magnetic, very charming, very in the upright, very fiery, highly creative, passionate, right? Healing is here. Healing is here for you in the strengths position. You're a healer and you have healed. This is saying this is over. The door, this is closed. This is a closed chapter. It's a closed timeline. This old timeline of conflict and being manipulated by a narcissist is a closed chapter in the book of your life. It's very powerful. This is a really powerful message for someone. You've overthrown your personal black magician in your life. You've again felt very much like you're never going to be like that. This controlling magician or black dark priest, black meaning black magic, you have felt like they have completely controlled your world to the point that you don't have control anymore. And in fact, there's another person that comes to mind. She has an Instagram called Stalked by the Feds, and she believes she's being gang stalked, and she has an online presence now saying and documenting it. This is what's happening to me. This is what it looks like. They're slashing my tires. They're doing XYZ, right? She had one recently where she just broke down and was sobbing and was like, nobody cares. Nobody wants to help me. Everybody treats it like a joke. Well, it's not a joke. This is my life. I'm afraid. She's like, why do people think this is funny? That's the energy that you've been in, is like you felt like this person won, and this reading is coming out to say they didn't win. You might not know this yet, or you may be just starting to get the inkling of this, but all kinds of doors are about to be opening for you. This controlling person didn't win. You're about to be very busy, okay? You're about to be entering a time of, where this betrayal and feeling of powerlessness and not being able to get anywhere and feeling blocked totally by this power abuser is over. What's coming is the sun, okay? What's coming is an entirely new timeline. That this full moon in Taurus is clearing out with this Queen of Cups, and then now what's coming in is this King of Wands energy through this lunar. It's really beautiful. What was the energy of this magician in reverse? Let's get some clarifiers so you'll know whether this is your reading or not. What was happening? Why was this person such a dark presence in your life? Why? What happened? Who is this Magus in the reverse? Who's the magician in the reverse here that you've basically overthrown? Yeah, he made you feel like Atlas, okay? Like you were carrying the entire weight of the world on your shoulders, and that you were never going to be able to break out. This was by design. This person was controlling you by imprisoning you in this loop of like, I can't get anywhere. That's Atlas's prison, right? To some extent. But Atlas is a Titan. So what I've just noticed is that I'm mixing up two different stories. Atlas, who holds the planet, is a Titan. And then there's another god that gets forced to push a boulder up a mountain in perpetuity while he's being attacked by crows and shit. And it's that kind of energy is what I'm picking up on. But with this world energy coming through in duplicate, you're not going to have to fear, okay? This is what this is saying. This full moon came here to liberate you. You're being liberated. Yeah, he was blocking your abundance with this gourd image in reverse. He was trying to block your abundance and your ability to create. You're a feminine, divine feminine energy, and now with this clearing away of this full moon in Taurus, your masculine fire and ability to create is going to be on 10. Okay, this is over. It's in the reverse. It's over. This person blocking your ability to create is over. You might not realize this yet. Yeah, his blocking you is over. He may have been doing this in the dark. That's what it is. Nobody knew. And maybe even you may not have realized what he was doing in some cases, that he was the source of what was stopping you or blocking you, because he may have been doing it in the dark. Like, if it's magic, that's very possible. A lot of people do black magic because they don't want anyone to know that they're your enemy, right? Smiling faces, smiling in your face while backstabbing you could have been the case here. Yeah, it's a power abuser, because we've got this crown card in the reverse. This is someone that was abusing their power in your life. They felt like a ruler over your reality. They were trying to control your abundance. It's here again. I'm gonna pull from Intuitive Kev's deck to see maybe, or first I'll start here with this other deck. Who are they? And then we're gonna find out what's coming with the sun. Who is this Magus in the reverse to you? Who were they? If you're still here in this reading, my sense is that you already know who they are, but I want to just maybe get some confirmation for you. In some cases, it could literally be like a black magician, black magic practitioner, like a warlock, a dark warlock. But for other people, it's someone in power in your life, a power abuser, like a spouse that has more power than you, or a boss or something, a parent. It's somebody that was casting themselves, boom, again, full circle in this reading. It's somebody that casting themselves as being able to guide you spiritually. This is someone like Osho or the Bhagwan, who put themselves out there as a guru, and then their whole empire ran amok with out of control shadow and empowering this psychopathic woman that poisoned the city of the Dalles. Okay, like, this is that level of abuse we're talking about. Someone really messed with your head here, and I'm very sorry. They didn't want you to even have time to question whether they were really to be listened to or not. It's like it might have even been a cult type situation where they had you working, and because that's something that cult figures will do, is wear you down nutritionally, wear you down work-wise, get you working so hard that you don't have time to question what's happening, right? You're just lost and confused all the time. This is a dark practitioner in many cases. They maybe feel wronged by you in some way, or else when this comes to light, forget an apology, because they're not capable. They're a manipulative person, so they're not like a narcissist is like that. You'll never hear a narcissist apologize. Or if you do, it's something like, I'm sorry you feel that way. It's a very backhanded apology type thing, right? Yeah, you ended up meeting this person maybe in a spiritual community, and it was a bad encounter. It was like a bad luck, like wrong. the wrong person at the wrong time, or what's the phrase I'm trying to say? You were there at the wrong time, right? Is what's coming through. And this person just kind of scooped you into their web. Yeah. And then kept you hanging, kept you wanting for their approval, wanting for their love. This is also could be like pimp psychology, right? Like the way that sex traffickers get into the minds of their victims by messing with their head in their need for love and affection, right? Give them a love bomb them in the beginning, then take their love away, go cold, and get them working for them, right? So let's clear that energy out, because that's the kind of person you've been dealing with here. And I'm very sorry, but again, don't forget, this is really good news. This is ending. This is over. This person is not able to do this anymore. And you're about to see this. If you haven't seen it already, you're about to know, okay? Let's cleanse that out for you. So, what else? Anything else that Spirit wants to share about what this person did before we get into what's coming for you now? Anything else, Spirit, you want to share about what this person did in your life, just to help people know if this is for them, clarify, give more details? It's being cleansed away with that cleansing rain. Cleansing full moon. Yeah, they manipulated Spellwork. This is, and it's also in reverse. This might be like a white nationalist group that's into the Norse gods and stuff that have been kind of hijacked by modern day white supremacists. It could be a person like that you ended up mixed up with. You might have had esotericism in common, and then it started becoming clear over time that this person was very toxic, abusive, even potentially like racist, like type energy for some of you. Worldwide cover-up, what did I just tap into in the upright? So that might be for some people that you tapped into a more of a cult-like experience that you encountered. This could be like Diddy type energy, that you might have been someone that was just trying to get into the industry and you ended up entangled with somebody like Jeffrey Epstein or Puffy, okay, for others of you. Yeah, because Motown and gospel music in the upright here is here for somebody. Travel, adventure imminent. So this is what's coming for you now. Now in the upright, travel and adventure is imminent. So now we're going to get into that sun card. What is coming for you? Can you clarify that sun energy? This is over. This manipulator is out of your life. You've defeated them somehow. What's coming for you with the sun energy now that this chapter is closed? Yeah, the end of that stuck, stagnant, not getting anywhere, running on a treadmill and never rat race energy, that's over. That's over with the sun card. Breakthroughs, speed after feeling stagnant and stuck. The end of illusion, the end of not being able to figure out what's real and what's not, or what direction you should be going in or what. All that confusion, all that cloudy mind control, coercive control energy is over. That illusion is over. Yeah, your strength you've gained strength exponentially by having gone through this trial. This might be something like a hanged one trial, like a rite of passage that you had to go through spiritually in order to now get all of the reward that somebody like a King of Wands can generate for themselves. You're very empowered now after this with the sun and strength, those are two big fire energies. Big fire. You're going places. You're getting, this is your entry into the cathedral, okay? You're going to be going from feeling left out in the cold to being invited in and welcomed in to the love, to the support, to the community, to the joy. Everything that you've been missing is here for you in the sun energy. Yeah, and a lot of activity. It's not going to be boring. It's going to not be a calm energy. It's going to be very fiery. So let's maybe pull some description about that. Anything about the future that has some detail? Travel was here. Speed and excitement and strength, and maybe tropics. You might be going somewhere really sunny and beautiful for a vacation. Something really fun like that might be happening. What else about that sun energy where you're heading? Yeah, a great community in the upright. A community that you want to be a part of, that welcomes you in, that is celebrating you. The end of that journey that you have been on of trying to get there and feeling like you're not going to get there. Here, you're arriving at your destination. Yeah, you're no longer waiting. The waiting and the wondering and the feeling trapped and stuck and betrayed and under someone's control is over. Yeah, a safe home for many of you. You may have felt even literal homelessness, or that you had nowhere safe to be, that you were maybe being abused by your partner or by a parent or other roommate type situation. Now you're moving into a safe home, a safe place to be, a home of your own possibly for some of you, home ownership, or a place that you get to call your own and decorate and cherish and love and make your nurturing place. The end of emotional pain for you. The end of emotional pain. It's so beautiful. The end of your suffering. The end of your emotional pain through this full moon in Taurus. I just want to celebrate. I just want to celebrate. Yeah, yeah. Another day of living. Yeah. I just want to celebrate. Another day of living. I just want to celebrate another day of life. Put my faith in the dollar bill. I think that's Sign the Family Stone. You like that, Stevie? Any final messages? Surrender to fate. You don't have to do anything else. This is all coming with this lunar energy, with this full moon in Taurus. Surrender it. It's not yours to manage now. You hold the power. Just maintain your ethics and operate from your heart. You are going into a very empowered time. Sacred. It's a sacred time. Cleanse your energy through this full moon in Taurus. Smudge your home. Set your intentions for where you're heading. Let go and say goodbye to the old. Picture yourself cutting cords, right? Picture the chapter closing. Yeah, burn plants. Sacred smoke on this full moon. Smudging is double here. You're really being encouraged to smudge. Yeah, get ready. There's major change coming of a positive nature that's going to usher in a lot of speed and change and activity and excitement. King of Wands, lightning bolt, lightning strike. Get ready. I don't think it's going to share much more because it's a surprise. What's a final message for where things are headed for you? A final card. We'll do a Colette Byrne read. What's good to know for the final outcome energy, where things are headed? It's very catalytic energy, it feels. The end of the suffering, the end of this intense lesson, the beginning of excitement and fun and travel and joy and safety and we've got Clean It Up in the Reverse. Clean It Up in the Reverse. Card 21. Final message for you, for the collective. And again, if you like my content, I hope you'll like and subscribe and come back. Very exciting energy. Is it possible you may be focusing too much on other people right now, trying too hard to be helpful? Does taking on what belongs to others make you feel needed or desired? Perhaps you think it's your calling to relieve people of their burdens, but what is the cost to you and to them? Don't clean up someone else's side of the street. You're not helping by freeing him or her of responsibility, which is exactly, again, full circle to the beginning of that white fragility. This person might have really fucked with your mind in that they need you, that you are essential to their survival, but really what they're doing is exploiting you, like harvesting your energy, okay? And the illusion is clearing away with that. Don't clean up someone else's side of the street. You are not helping by freeing him or her of responsibility. And that's what I was trying to say to Megan Connor, who's like marketing herself as this wise life coach. You're not helping Lauren Matthias by giving her shielding and insisting that she was stalked. You're upholding her white fragility. You're upholding her fragility. You're also not doing yourself any favors, and you just might be adding an even greater strain. You are loved as you are. You don't need to be needed to be loved. And that's what you have figured out. And that's where you're going to be liberated by this, is you've seen through the veil. You've seen through the illusion that this person created in your life, where they may have convinced you of their narrative, which is not a good narrative for you, right? But they had you thoroughly convinced. And again, it can look like cults. It can look like whiteness, white supremacy, right? That says, if I'm a white woman and I'm scared, that means I'm in danger and you must be arrested, right? Those are the illusions that are being seen through here. That you don't have to listen to somebody that is abusing their power over you, right? But can be very, some people are really good at it. Really, really good at it. I just saw a statistic and I was like, God, could that be true? Because I'm a social worker, but I don't specialize in narcissism, right? I feel like that's important to acknowledge. And Dr. Ramani was saying that 1 in 6 people is a narcissist. And I was like, wow, she's like the YouTube expert. And she's a doctor of psychology. She's very, very knowledgeable about narcissism. And she says 1 in 6 people. So that's a lot of people out there abusing power, messing with people's minds, making people doubt themselves, making people feel like they're not good enough, can't measure up, whatever. It's a lot of damage being done, if that's truly the case. So thank you for being here. I hope to see you in future readings, and thank you again. Much love out there.